Hi everyone, Papa here, and for today's episode, I'm taking you with me on my daily bicycle ride. We're heading out now from the garage at our house, heading down the driveway. The bumpiest part of the ride will likely be the gravel driveway, going out and then back in again. Looking both ways, making sure the traffic is clear, and it is. For the majority of the bicycle ride, we'll be on paved country roads. Even though they're paved, there may be a little bit of bumping along the way. I've got the camera attached to the handlebars, so maybe a little bit of bouncing of the video. It's an early fall day. Some blue sky, but mostly cloudy. So there may be a little bit of sunshine along the way. It's about 65 degrees right now, early afternoon on a Wednesday. Starting up a slight incline. Generally speaking, when I'm out for a bicycle ride, I try not to change gears too often. But when I need to, I will. Right now for this uphill section, keeping it in the highest gear. It's a 21 speed bicycle. Hybrid type that's made for both on-road and off-road. Almost to the top. And the payback for having to go uphill, we get the enjoyment of going downhill here. Picking up a little bit of speed. And we're approaching our first intersection of the ride. I'm going to switch gears, make it a little easier to head out after we stop. Stopping at this stop sign, and all clear. So continuing straight. Getting back into 21st gear. It is a nice day for a bike ride. At 65 degrees, it's not too hot, not too cold. I'm currently wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt, and I do have my helmet on. I always wear my helmet when I'm out on the bicycle. Safety first. All right, now we're going downhill a little bit. Reach the bottom of that downhill section. I do have a windscreen on the microphone, but even so, since there is a little bit of a breeze out here, Plus, when I start picking up speed, especially going downhill, I'm sure that wind is going to come through on the audio. All right, we're going through an underpass here. Above us is the interstate. This is Interstate 70, heading east and west through Ohio. Starting to go slightly uphill here. It's not a steep hill, but it's a long one. I'm gonna switch gears, make it a little bit easier and a little bit faster. It's beautiful countryside out here. Right now, going past some pastures on the left and the right. There are a lot of small farms that are either growing crops or raising livestock or both. And we reached the top of that hill, going back down the other side. Generally not a lot of traffic on most of the roads that I ride on. Got to be careful though. Roads are generally not too wide in some areas. This road that I'm on now is just big enough for two vehicles to squeeze by, but you generally have to slow down and pull slightly to the right if you need to pass another vehicle in a vehicle. So, even when I don't hear any vehicles coming in either direction, I try to stay as far to the right as possible. All right. We're at the top of a small hill, and now we're heading back down. And coming into some sunshine here. Definitely feel the temperature difference between the sun and the shade. But even in the shady areas and even going fast on my bicycle, I'm not cold, quite comfortable, in fact. Coming back down again. About to pass by a big cornfield on the right. They just harvested this field a few days ago. Lots of deer around here, so you often see the deer moving around through these cornfields, getting a meal. This is probably the most significant hill so far on today's bike ride. Like most of the hills around here, not very long, but on a bicycle, feels pretty steep. This is also my typical running route. If I go out for a run, come out this road all the way to the major road ahead and turn back around. It's about a 5 mile total. Here comes a big truck. Gotta be careful here. Another one coming. Those are the big trucks that they use to haul away the crops that they harvest. Probably heading for another cornfield that's being harvested today. Almost to the top of this hill. You might have noticed as those trucks went by, wasn't a lot of room between the trucks and me. If I had been in a vehicle, I would have had to get far to the right, and they would have had to do the same. Approaching another intersection. Looking behind me, making sure it's clear. Nothing coming. I'm getting to the right just a little bit, or to the left rather, so I can curve around, show you what I'm about to talk about. This house here at the intersection has been abandoned for a long while. I'll talk about that in a minute. Stopping here and going to the right. That house has been abandoned since we moved into our house. And we have seen some activity recently, just because of the rundown nature of it and the abandoned nature of it. We affectionately nicknamed it the haunted house. Reaching another stop sign. This is the biggest road that I'm going to be on today. Waiting for traffic to clear. Fortunately, there's a wide shoulder here. Got it back in 21st year. Today's route is a 12-mile route that I like to do. When I do the 12-mile route, it takes me out to this road. But I won't be on this road for too long, and then we'll get back to the smaller, less traveled country roads. Coming downhill again, picking up some speed. When I'm out on a bicycle ride, I like to pedal as often as I can. I don't like to coast. While it's true that several loud cars there. While it's true that I'm out for enjoyment, I'm also out for exercise. You don't get any exercise on a bicycle when you're coasting. Usually the only time I'm not pedaling is when I'm going down such a steep hill and the bicycle's going so fast, I'm typically not adding anything to it by pedaling. Won't be on this road much longer. And I wouldn't travel on this road at all if there weren't a wide enough shoulder to make it safe. There are quite a few roads around here that are frequently traveled and don't have shoulder room. Those would not be safe on the bicycle. So I am not going to put myself in harm's way or impede traffic on those roads. But for this road, that's not the case. Vehicles can easily get by me safely, and I can stay safe on the shoulder. Not just on the shoulder, but on a paved section of the shoulder. So I don't have to be traveling in the gravel here. There's a yellow sign coming that indicates the turn that we'll be making to get off this road. Almost there. Being in the afternoon on a Wednesday, traffic's picking up a little. And I am turning right where that red truck is. Put my arm out to indicate that I'm turning. I believe he saw me, so he knew it was safe for him to pull out. All right, we made it off that road. Should encounter far less traffic for the rest of the ride. Still on a paved road, but a little bumpy on the edge here. But on these smaller roads, there is no shoulder. So even though it's bumpy, I'll stay to the right. Make sure any vehicles coming up from behind me have plenty of room to get by. I enjoy this 12-mile route that I do. Gives me some good exercise. Usually takes me the better part of an hour to do it. But let the school bus get by so you can hear me. And a vehicle behind. But I also enjoy a couple of other routes. I've got a 5-mile route and a 9-mile route. Just went by a cow field. Those routes, the 5 and the 9-mile, don't take me out on the big road that we just traveled on. But right now, Those routes are not fully available to me because of construction going on one of the roads. They've dug up the road and are doing some work across the road. So this is the main route that I've been doing lately. And I try to get out every day for a bicycle ride if the weather will support it, either in the morning or early afternoon, depending on what else I have going on during the day. Usually the only days I don't go for a bicycle ride or when it's inclement weather. So if it's raining, I'll run instead. And if the weather is worse, I'll do something else. Treadmill, swimming. Sometimes I do a combination of all of that. Going through an underpass again with Interstate 70 overhead. So we've come down a few miles. Basically, we're running parallel to the road we started on. Yesterday was a rainy day. We're going downhill here. In fact, it rained nearly all day. First real rain we've gotten in a couple of months, so it was good. But I wasn't able to get out on the bike. But I did happen to do 2 bike rides the day before, among other things. All right, this is a significant hill. Switching gears. Yesterday, even though I didn't bike, I did get in quite a few laps swimming and did a fitness class. So I got my exercise in and did 45 minutes on the treadmill. Another car coming behind us. Sunshine feels nice. Coming up this hill. This is one of the longer hills. Not very steep. It's a little bit longer than some of the others that we'll be encountering today. And I can feel some sweat starting to drip down under my helmet. Definitely getting my workout in for this bicycle ride. my 5-mile route and my 9-mile route have a couple of even steeper hills. They're much shorter, and they're very steep. Won't encounter those today. Okay, gotta get past these trash cans. We'll be at the top of this one. All right, made it. Getting back into gear. And reaping the rewards for that uphill climb. We're about to pass by the road where the construction's going on. They've got it closed off up ahead to the right. But if we were able to turn right, go up about a mile, we'd be at that first intersection, that first stop sign that we came to. Just passed by a groundhog, out getting some sunshine. I often see animals whether it's groundhogs, squirrels, certainly birds, deer. Short uphill. And a low angle decline here. A couple of short rolling hills coming up. Occasionally I'll pass by another bicyclist and a runner, but not too often. And one of the roads, not on this route, but one of the roads not too far from this route has some signs warning drivers to look out for bicycles. And since there aren't wide shoulders there, the signage even indicates bicycles may use the full lane. All right, here we go, downhill. Gonna get a little breezy in the audio here. Picking up speed. Got a corner we're gonna come around. That's always a fun corner. You can pick up a little bit of speed coming downhill, and then a straight level stretch going into the turn. This is a nice bicycle for this type of a ride. It's a Schwinn 21 speed hybrid. It's a black bicycle. If you watch the videos on our channel regularly, you've seen it before. This is the main bicycle that I use for any bicycling videos, to include when Kate and Kai and I are together on the tandem, because this is the bicycle that I attach his tandem bicycle to, so he and I can ride together. He's not here now. This is a solo bike ride. Got a cornfield on the left and a cornfield straight ahead. Sure they'll be harvested soon. Switching gears, and I can come to a stop at this intersection. Got a car coming. It's a little ways off. Rather than getting in front of it, I'll wait for it. That way they didn't have to go around me. Continuing on. Still a lot of clouds in the sky, but right now it's a nice clear section of the sky, letting the sun shine through. Slightly uphill here, but just a short uphill. And it's going to level off. Now continuing straight and fairly level for a little ways. Then we're going to start going uphill again. Definitely a good workout for my legs. And a nice farmhouse to the right. If we went straight, go over a couple of fairly big hills, and we'd end up back home again. But we're curving to the left. Nice long, straight, fairly level section here. Now starting to go uphill a little bit. But not too bad. And reached the top, coming back down now. Nice big cornfield coming up on the left. Ready to be harvested. Really cornfields all around in this area. And off to the upper right is the farmhouse with all their farm equipment. Wind's blowing. I can hear the corn stalks rustling in the wind. Making lots of noise. Now coming up to a bridge, just a small short bridge going over a small creek. It's got a little bit of standing water in it. You got some crops to the left, not corn. Can't tell exactly what it is. Maybe a small wheat field. Definitely cornfield to the right. And another field here that's already been harvested on the right. Coming up to another stop sign. All right, it's clear. Continuing on. Now, this is a slightly bigger road that I'm on now with very little shoulder, but only going to be on it for a minute or two. Just have to make it up to this next intersection. Passing by a winery, vineyards. They have a wedding and party venue, a small restaurant. I'm sure they do wine tasting in a small restaurant with some indoor and outdoor seating. Turning to the right at the vineyards. They still have their parking signs up from a wedding that took place a few days ago. I saw the wedding party out for photos when I rode by the other day. We've never been there to check out the place or to try the restaurant, but someday we'll have to give it a try. Okay, back to the smaller country roads. Here are some fields on the left and the right that were recently harvested. Definitely a lot of clouds in the sky. Some of them look a little dark, but right now there's a very low chance of rain in the coming days. But yesterday was good. It wasn't a heavy rain. Wouldn't call it a storm. No high winds. No heavy rain, but just rained for most of the day. A gentle rain that we badly needed. So that was nice. Going across another bridge over, I'm sure, the same creek, just a little bit upstream from the other place where we crossed over it. More cornfields on the left and the right. It is nice living out in the country. A little quieter. It's a nice lifestyle. We have a nice big lawn, some woods, big house. And we're not too far from all the amenities of some towns and cities. Passing by a big farm area that's been for sale for a while. It says they've got 77 acres for sale. We're about to pass by another party venue. On the right, a place called Barn on the Hill. They do weddings and other parties. And about once a month during the summer, on the weekend, they have a bazaar there. Bazaar at the barn, where they have various vendors come in and sell their wares, their trinkets, their crafts, some foods. They started that a few years ago. We've gone there several times, to include the first year that they did it. I had the chance to go there a few weekends ago. It's definitely grown quite a bit, the bazaar at the barn, from the early days. Okay, coming to another hill. We'll be changing gears, but my goal usually at this point is to get past this mailbox on the right before I change gears. There we go. This hill's going to take a few minutes to get up. And even though I've gone into a lower gear, It's still a physical challenge. Fortunately, I'm in good shape, or at least I consider myself to be in good physical shape. So while a hill like this is a challenge, it's nothing I can't handle. And I'm sure if I stood up for some of the ride, it'd be a little bit easier on some of these hills. On rare occasion, I'll stand, but I prefer the challenge of staying seated. And there we go. Made it to the top. Now it's time to go back down. Big pond on the right at this house that I'm about to go by. I got a nice big property. No woods, but a big lawn, big pond. They got a deck on the pond. I've even seen them out there with a jet ski before. All right, on this hill, my goal always to get past this white mailbox on the right before switching gears. There we go. And we're good. Coming around a curve. And the clouds have taken over for the time being. That's okay though. Still nice out here. Oh yeah, I see their jet ski in their parking lot, or their driveway rather. This section isn't very steep, but it's somewhat long. And I don't usually time myself. I'm not trying to set any personal records. Just out for some enjoyment and some exercise. All right, it's starting to get a little bit steeper here, but we're almost there. Enough so that I can start switching gears. Not all the way down yet, but enough. Leveled off a little bit, and then we're going to go uphill. Here's a road closed sign. It says road closed 1.25 miles ahead. That's the construction I was talking about earlier that goes across the road that is on my 5-mile route and my 9-mile route. Really, there are a lot of other route options. They can go in both directions and take a lot of different side roads. You could do some out and backs or some different loops. But I have found the 3 routes, 5 miles, 9 miles, and 12 miles, suitable to my desires and my needs. Another big cornfield on the left. Winter is definitely coming. Won't be too much longer before all the crops will be harvested. This time of year, I'm sure most, if not all, of the crops that are still standing are food crops for animals, not for people. So it's animal feed, not for human consumption. Going down slightly here, going a little bit faster. Gonna be going uphill again in just a minute. Not too much. And here's some sunshine again. This cooler weather is a change. It's been pretty warm. Even September into the first week of October, it's been mostly in the 80s during the day. Today, the high is really about what it is now, 65. All right, going downhill. And then back uphill. But with that momentum, and this isn't a significant incline, I shouldn't need to change gears here. I can hear the interstate off to my left. Coming up this short hill. Coming up to another intersection. Now straight ahead is where the road is closed. A little bit further ahead. To the left is where we went out, went under the first underpass and went to the big road. To the right is where we came from. So now it is time to head back home. Going uphill slightly here. Cresting that hill and coming back down. And after that bike ride, that breeze feels nice. It's helping to dry the sweat, cool me down a little. Feels good. And we've got the sunshine peeking through. There are clouds all around the sun. Let's see if the sun can stay out until we make it back to the garage. All right, changing gears to get up the driveway. Putting on my right turn signal. That is my arm out. Making the turn into the driveway. A little bit bumpy here. Shouldn't be too bad though for the video. And as we approach the garage and come to the end of the ride, thank you for joining me for my daily bicycle ride. Thanks as always for supporting us. Please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Goodbye, everyone.